Welcome, everybody, to another episode of Nez Nation Live. I'm your host, Professor Nez. This is a show where we help make, and you actually can help make common sense go viral. President Trump is set to make a huge, groundbreaking, landmark announcement from the Roosevelt Room. It was slated to be at 2 p.m. Eastern Time. We're now 30 minutes in. Let me know where you're joining me from, what city, what state, what country, but I've got so much to share with you. We will be monitoring when President Trump will go live, and so I will bring you that as it happens. It should be happening any moment now, and we will go directly to the live feed. I would love to hear what city, what country. Earl Shaner in the house from Syracuse. Great to see you, Earl. Boy, New York's in a lot of trouble, Earl. We need your help. We need more people like you. Let me know what city, what state, what country. I love it. California, South Carolina, Scranton, Grand Rapids, Michigan, Pennsylvania in the house, Jackson, Tennessee, Atlanta, Georgia. Love it. I want to share some clips of President Trump's ninth and final cabinet meeting of 2025. And boy, is there a lot to show. You're not going to believe this, folks, but this was one of the most explosive. So you're getting a bonus in today's episode. You're not just going to be getting this live, groundbreaking, legendary, historic announcement that not really anybody knows what it's about. I've got some insider tips and sources and information that alludes to it has something to do with American children, and it is going to be legendary and historic. So don't go anywhere. We are going to cut to the live feed as soon as President Trump arrives in the Roosevelt Room. But I want to play for you this. My goodness. Do I have some clips for you of President Trump's final cabinet meeting? I just want to start because he kind of goes around the room and lets all of this. We are so lucky, America. He lets all of his American first cabinet elucidate and convey to the American public what they're doing, what the track record is, radical transparency, full disclosure, no secrets, upfront, honest, integrity laced America First cabinet. And I just thought this first clip is probably the most explosive. Trump yelling at reporters, calling them out for fake news. I'm going to share a couple of those. Pete Hegseth going berserk on the fake news media. I'm going to share that clip. But check out Marco Rubio, who I think is probably the next vice presidential candidate. This guy could be president one day, which would be, I think, I'm all in favor of that. Listen to him absolutely pulverize any notion that President Trump is not doing everything he can to make America safe, secure, military fortified, ready, and served to the tilt. Listen in.
Well, thank you, Mr. President. First of all, this is a very talented team, as you've seen, and as you know, because you picked every single one that's on. You deserve tremendous credit for doing that. It's an honor to be in this role. It's also an honor to be involved in and be a witness to what I believe is the most transformational year in American foreign policy since the end of the Second World War, at least. And it's transformational because for the first time in a long time, we have a president who basically puts America at the forefront of every decision we make in our relations with the world. And that may sound weird to people, like, of course you always do. No, that hasn't always been the case until about a year ago. And I think we've all witnessed in our own respective spaces how in every interaction the president has with the world, the goal he has in mind is very simple. Does what you want us to do, or is it what we're going, or is it going to make us stronger? Is it going to make us richer? Is it going to make us safer? If it is, he's for it. If it's not, he's against it. If something's going to make America weaker or poorer or less safe, the president's going to be against it. And every single thing he has done in our foreign policy has been driven by the American people in mind. And I can go down the list. Why has he focused on mass migration? It's very simple, because no country is safe if you can just walk in without us knowing who you are into your country. We've seen the destruction that that's wreaking, not just in our own country, but the impact that it's having in Europe and in many other parts of the world. You talk about trade deals and the trade situation has been involved in. People, all this reporting on it. It's very simple. The president views the last 40 years as an era of which American workers and American farmers have been ripped off. They've been ripped off, and what he's saying is we want to have a trade with the world, but it has to be a trade in which American businesses and American workers and the products they make and what American farmers grow and produce has a fair shot to be sold around the world. On issue after issue, that's been the case. You talk about foreign aid reforms. This is not our money. This is taxpayer money. When the president said we're going to do foreign aid, but we're going to do foreign aid for countries that are aligned with the United States and in a way that doesn't waste the taxpayers' money. Mr. President, you deserve tremendous credit for that. Many of us, the vice president, by the way, I want to acknowledge, has played an extraordinary role in our foreign policy. And he too has been a witness to all of this as it's been occurring. And he's been a big part of it as well. You talk about NATO. The president's not against NATO. He went to NATO and basically said, look, you guys, we're paying all the money. And he got them to do the 5% commitment, which everybody said was never going to happen. It was impossible. Everything this president does is driven by the American people. Whether you don't have to agree with the actual move, but understand the motivation. The motivation is always you, the American people, and what's good for you, for your family, for the country, and for our economy. But the president is also committed to peace in a way that all of us have seen. He achieved in Gaza, and he does it, by the way, not just because he hates war and he thinks wars are a waste of money and lives, but because he's the only leader in the world that can. No other leader in the world could have pulled off what happened in Gaza. And I can tell you, I can't get into the details. The vice president knows what I'm talking about. That deal doesn't happen without the president's direct interaction with the leaders that were involved in this decision making. And everyone said that deal couldn't hold. And then the president shepherded through the United Nations of all places to get a global coalition of countries that line up behind the peace deal, behind the border peace. And it's still, every day is a challenge, but it's been driven personally by the president. It's the reason why we're involved in this whole Ukraine-Russia conflict. That's not our war. It's not the president's war. This war started, it never would have happened if you'd been president. But this war is going on, and the president is trying to end it, not because, listen, we got a million things to focus on in the world as a country, but he's the only leader in the world that can help end it. And that's why that's why even as we speak to you now, Steve Woodcock is in Moscow trying to find a way to end this war, to save lives of 9,000 people, Mr. President, as you know, are dying every week. More people are dying a week in that war than have died in the entirety of the U.S.'s involvement in Afghanistan or Iraq. Just think about that, how bloody and destructive it is. The president's taken on this issue of Sudan personally, not send out deputies to do it. Again, far away from the United States, because he's the only leader in the world that can bring it about to an end, not to mention all the other peace deals, very dangerous ones like India and Pakistan, or Cambodia and Thailand. And so on all these things, Mr. President, I think you deserve tremendous credit for the transformational aspect of our foreign policy. For the first time in probably 4 decades, the American foreign policy is driven by what is good for America and Americans. Whether it makes us safer and stronger and more prosperous. If it is, he's for it. If it doesn't, he's against it. And that sort of clarity is transformational. I close with this, and I know I'm last, so I wanted to be fast, but there was a lot to cover. I do want to say this is the most wonderful, magical time of the year. By that, of course, I'm referring to the college football playoffs. And I just want to say this as a point of personal privilege. And I'm a Florida Gator, but if the University of Miami gets screwed out of the college football playoffs after going 10-2 and beating Notre Dame, the whole thing should be scrapped, and you're going to have to take over it next year.
Rubio has really impressed me, y'all. I don't know about you guys. If you're impressed with our Secretary of State, Marco Rubio, I got to be honest with you. That whole water bottle incident that happened about 10 years ago. Thank you so much for the super sticker, Candy Hoarding 7395. Great to see you. Everybody give a big round of applause for the biggest and greatest mods of all time. I absolutely love you guys. Jim Barron, Lala, Mountain Goddess, China Baby, Howie, Robbie Reeder. You guys are the absolute best. I love you guys. Thank you so much. We couldn't do this without you. I've had other channels, millions and millions of subscribers tell me, Nez, you've got the best mods I've ever seen, and I wholeheartedly agree with them. I want to also share this. President Trump, talking about mentally Ilhan Omar, and the Somalians who really have taken over in this Minnesota fraud debacle under Tampon Tim. And here's President Trump talking about this specifically, and I want to share that right now with you, so you can check this out, because this is absolutely phenomenal. Watch President Trump addressing this. Listen.
Waltz is a grossly incompetent man. There's something wrong with him. Okay, there's something wrong with him. And when you look at what he's done with Somalia, which is barely a country, they have no anything. They just run around killing each other. There's no structure. And when I see somebody like Ilhan Omar, who I don't know at all, but I always watch her for years. I've watched her complain about our Constitution, how she's being treated badly. Our Constitution, the United States of America, is a bad place. It hates everybody, hates Jewish people, hates everybody. And I think she's an incompetent person. She's a real terrible person. But when I watch what is happening in Minnesota, the land of 1,000 lakes, or however many lakes they have, they got a lot of lakes, but this beautiful place, and I see these people ripping it off, and now I'm understanding, and you're going to look at that, Scott, I hear they ripped off Somalians, ripped off that state for billions of dollars, billions, every year, billions of dollars, and they contribute nothing. The welfare is like 88%. They contribute nothing. I don't want them in our country, I'll be honest with you.
Wow.
Somebody would say, oh, that's not politically correct. I don't care. I don't want them in our country. Their country is no good for a reason. Their country stinks, and we don't want them in our country. I could say that about other countries too. We don't want them to hell. We have to rebuild our country.
Wow.
Our country's at a tipping point. We could go bad. We're at a tipping point. I don't know if people mind me saying that, but I'm saying it. We could go one way or the other, and we're going to go the wrong way if we keep taking in garbage into our country. Ilhan Omar is garbage. She's garbage. Her friends are garbage. These aren't people that work. These aren't people that say, let's go, come on, let's make this place great. These are people that do nothing but complain.
Yeah.
They complain. And from where they came from, they got nothing. They came from paradise, and they said, this isn't paradise. But when they come from hell, and they complain and do nothing but bitch, we don't want them in our country. Let them go back to where they came from and fix it. Thank you very much.
Wow, telling it like it is. If you agree with President Trump, give me a huge yeah in the comments right now. Give me a huge capital Y-E-A-H, yeah. Oh, we finally got balls. If only the GOP would follow suit. Murkowski and Johnson and Thune and Scalia, all these guys, they don't have balls. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to finally fix America. 12 of the last 16 years, the Democrats have had control. And really, Trump's first term, he couldn't get anything done because it was Russia hoax, it was impeachment hoax, it was COVID hoax, it was everything hoax. I'm going to get this, my whole channel is going to get deleted for me saying that, but it's the truth. I can't help it. It's the absolute truth. Give me a yeah. God, we got balls back. We got balls back. That's America. For the love of God. Finally, somebody said it. You've had thousands of years head start on the United States of America. Your country is a third world septic tank sewage filled shithole. So why are you coming here? Your culture that you want to bring here, your multiculturalism, your styles, customs, your language, you're changing street names, you're doing Muslim prayer calls 5 times a day in Dearborn. What have they produced? What have they benefited our country? I dare you to find me one single instance where you've listened to mentally Ilhan Omar. That's my nickname for her. Mentally Ilhan Omar. Let me know if you like that. Give me one instance where you felt pride. You felt that these refugee and overtly Islamic, Muslim loving individuals who, some of them are sitting in elected, I mean, quote unquote, elected positions, elected offices. Give me one instance where you feel like, holy mackerel, man, these guys really love America. I really feel pride for my country after listening to mentally Ilhan Omar. Give me one instance. I dare you. You can't, because she hates America. He's right. She complains. She bitches. Why are you here if all you do is complain and bitch? Why are you here? It makes no sense. I apologize. This is what my mom's talking about. My mom watches my show too. She's like, son, you're going to have an aneurysm. I know, but I just can't help it. These people drive me nuts. This is my country. I love my country. More than anybody I know, I love my country. And I'm sick and tired of seeing people crap on it and get away with it time and time again. It enrages me. I want my kids, I want my grandkids as grandkids is to grow up in an America that makes sense, for the love of God. That makes sense. What an amazing cabinet meeting. I got more for you. I want to share this. This is a clip of a reporter actually questioning. This is a clip of a reporter actually questioning Pete Hegseth on, and he just totally calls him and rips him out. And then President Trump talks about Venezuela and the boats and the attack of these narco terrorists who are essentially bringing poison into our country. Check this out.
To me, it was an attack. It wasn't one strike, two strikes, three strikes. Somebody asked me a question about the second strike. I didn't know about the second strike. I didn't know anything about people. I wasn't involved in it. I knew they took out a boat. But I would say this, they had a strike. I hear the gentleman that was in charge of that is extraordinary. He's an extraordinary person. Let Pete speak about him. But Pete was satisfied. Pete didn't know about second attack having to do with two people. And I guess Pete would have to speak to it. I can say this. I want those boats taken out. And if we have to, we'll attack on land also, just like we attack on sea. And there's very little coming in by sea. I think we've knocked out over 90% of it. There's very little, and I understand that. There's very little. We're saving hundreds of thousands of lives with those pinpoint attacks. It's an amazing thing when you see a boat going along. And, a lot of the press would like to say they're not, you see the boat, they're not maybe drugs. You see these boats. First of all, who has 5 engines on the back of a boat going in weird directions and loaded up with lots of white containers? They're bags or things. No, they've done an amazing job, and Peter's done an amazing job. Pete, you could probably better answer the question.
No, you're spot on, sir. I think you got to start with the baseline, which Marco laid out, everybody's laid out. We've got 20 million people invading our country over 4 years. We don't know where they're coming from. That includes Tren de Aragua and cartels and violent criminals. They bring drugs, and you mentioned it, Mr. President, poisoning, an intentional poisoning of the American people, killing hundreds of thousands of Americans. So the president had the courage to designate these cartels as designated terrorist organizations. Now, a number of us here served in the military and spent 20 years fighting terrorists like Al-Qaeda and ISIS on the other side of the world. How do you treat Al-Qaeda and ISIS? Do you arrest them and treat them, pat them on the head and say, don't do that again? Or do you end the problem directly by taking a lethal kinetic approach? And that's the way President Trump has authorized the War Department to look at these cartels. And I wish everybody could be in the room watching our professionals like Mitch Bradley, Admiral Mitch Bradley, and others at JSOC and SOCOM and other commanders. The deliberative process, the detail, the rigorous, the intel, the legal, the evidence-based way that we're able to, with sources and methods that we can't reveal here, that make sure that every one of those drug boats is tied to a designated terrorist organization. We know who's on it, what they're doing, what they're carrying. All these white bales are not Christmas gifts from Santa. This is drugs running on 4-motor fast boats or submarines that we've also struck. No one's fishing on a submarine. And I have empowered them to make that call. Now, the first couple of strikes, as any leader would want, you want to own that responsibility. So I said, I'm going to be the one to make the call after getting all the information and make sure it's the right strike. That was September 2nd. There's a lot of intelligence that goes into that, building that case and understanding that, a lot of people providing information. I watched that first strike log. As you can imagine, at the Department of War, we got a lot of things to do. So I didn't stick around for the hour and 2 hours, whatever, where all the sensitive site exploitation digitally occurs. So I moved on to my next meeting. A couple of hours later, I learned that that commander had made which he had the complete authority to do. And by the way, Admiral Bradley made the correct decision to ultimately sink the boat and eliminate the threat. He sunk the boat, and eliminated the threat. And it was the right call. We have his back, and the American people are safer because narco terrorists know you can't bring drugs through the water and eventually on land if necessary to the American people. We will eliminate that threat, and we're proud to do it.
I mean, can you imagine that the Democrats have sunk to such a guttural sewage septic tank level that they're actually like sticking up for narco terrorists? I mean, they fight for illegal criminals. They fight for gangsters. They fight for terrorists. They travel to El Salvador on taxpayer money, flying first class on private jets on their end oligarchy tour. They haven't done a single thing for this country, my friends. I mean, it's abominable. If you are not upset and enraged about what these hypocrites, aka these Democrats, are doing to our country right now, you have a deficiency in your soul. I'm just going to say it because it's the absolute truth. You have a deficiency in your soul because there is no way you cannot be upset right now about this. They have nothing. They cry Epstein, Epstein. Oh, wait a minute. Epstein, wait a minute. Where's the Epstein files? Where's the Epstein files? Where's the Epstein files? Oh, wait a minute. Trump's not even implicated. As a matter of fact, Epstein, in an email directly, which I covered in a video in full, complete detail, Epstein actually hates and wants to go after, wants to target Trump. Trump was never on the island, but Bill Clinton was 26 times. Hello. Oh, and wait a minute. Stacey Plaskett got donations from Epstein and actually got specific text advisory. She got strategies from the world's most ugliest, decrepit, rot gut human being to ever walk the earth. Oh, Hakeem, nobody's dream, Timu dollar store Obama, he got donations from the worst human being to ever etch and exhale oxygen on this blue-green earth. Notice how it's crickets now on Epstein. And now what's the latest hoax? Now what's the latest hypocrite hoax? By the way, we got a huge special election today. Afton Bain, I can't think of a more deplorable name than that, who wants to defund police, blow up police stations, hates Nashville, hates the music, hates country, hates everything about the city and state that she supposedly wants to represent. She's literally just going to be an obedient servant, deferential to the DNC in Washington if she gets elected. If you're from Tennessee right now, for the love of God, vote like your life depends on it. Vote for Matt Van Epps for this congressional seat in the 7th District of Tennessee. Everybody right now in the comments, vote Matt Epps. Afton Bain is a pariah. We cannot have her. We cannot have her. If you're just joining us right now, so please vote. America, Tennessee, please vote for Matt Van Epps. If you're just joining us right now, we have a huge announcement that is about to be made by President Trump regarding a huge historic plan for America and for America's children. I got inside sources that have told me and have alluded to a very unbelievably amazing, reciprocal, giving, altruistic endeavor that this great president of ours is about to launch. It is going to blow everybody's mind. Stick around. We're just waiting on Trump right now. He just finished his cabinet meeting. I'm sharing highlights from his cabinet meeting. If you love America, for the love of God, tap that thumbs up and share this with everybody. We need your help because we need to make common sense go viral. There's too many mooks who actually believe CNN, who actually believe the woke media apparatus, who actually believe that Republicans, Trump and his amazing America First cabinet are working against Americans. Imagine that. This decrepit. Ladies and gentlemen, 6 straight months of goose egg, 0 border crossings. That in and of itself warrants a Mount Rushmore appearance and inclusion for our great president, President Trump. He is literally saving America. And he's not just fighting cunning, ruthless international leaders who want to see America fail. He's fighting the enemy within. The billion-trillion-dollar woke media apparatus funded by the Obamas, Holly Weirdos, Soroses, and billionaire secret satanic cult members who are so bored because all they have is money coming out of their pores. They figure, you know what? Let's destroy a country. That'll be fun, Marge. Hey, Marge, I got an idea. I know you're bored flying on all these private jets, going to Bora Bora, going to Fiji, buying up islands. I got an idea. Let's destroy a country. That's what happens when you've got so much money literally pouring out of your ears. You've got no purpose. You don't believe in God. You've got no moral compass, no epicenter. Nothing at all. That's what happens. You get so empty, vapid, and vacuous that you want to destroy a country. That's the only explanation. Why are you destroying our country? You're just bored billionaires. That's all they are. And they're fooling 48 to 49% of our country, literally polluting their craniums, hypnotizing them. So I need your help. Tap that thumbs up. Share this with everybody. Here's another clip. We've got a Maya Marquez is in the house. Maya Marquez, tell everybody what you won recently. Maya Marquez is a member of our amazing Nez Nation podcast here on YouTube, Spotify, and elsewhere. And she actually won the grand prize in our latest live stream giveaway. Tell them what it was, Maya. It was $50 gift card from Amazon. I don't know anybody who could use a $50 gift card. And by the way, when you become a member, which literally costs you a cup of coffee a month, for the love of God, to support the greatest channel on planet Earth, trying to save our glorious republic and honor our forefathers and make sure our grandkids' grandchildren live and grow up in an America that you and I recognize. Just for 1 cup of coffee a month, you can support and make common sense go viral. I am the modern day Thomas Paine. Thomas Paine, if you don't understand, wrote one of the best sellers during the 1770s, during the revolution of this amazing country of ours, the founding of this amazing country of ours, entitled Common Sense. And he was from England, by the way. Well, I mean, they were all from England, but he wasn't a colonist, let's just say, so to speak. He was later, but not initially. I am the Thomas Paine of the 21st century, and you don't have to pay a damn thing. I mean, you could become a member. You don't have to. All I ask is that you watch, tap the thumbs up, and share. That's all I ask. Welcome, Maya. Tell them what you won. For the love of everything holy, tell them what you won. I want to share this. Here is Secretary Noem. So if you're just joining us, we're waiting for President Trump to unveil one of the greatest secret wealth plans and announcements and most historic, unbelievable announcements of all time. And it's going to be legendary. It's going to be historic. It was slated for 2 p.m. Eastern. It is now almost 3 p.m. Eastern. But I want to share some highlights from this amazing final cabinet meeting that just took place. Here is Secretary Noem talking to reporters and talking to the world about President Trump's leadership when it comes to defending our homeland. Everybody watch.
President, thank you for giving me a very interesting job. Some days it's a little controversial too, but it's been an honor to work for you. You are a great American. the fights that you pick are the right fights, and they're always on behalf of this country. So I appreciate the chance to do this job heading up this department. If you think about what Joe Biden did with the Department of Homeland Security, he used this department to invade the country with terrorists. He opened up the borders, let anybody come in that wanted to. He put them on airplanes. He let them through our airports. If they could figure out a way to get to our shores and in our country, he just opened the door.
Okay, here we go. We got the announcement. Here we go. Here we go, folks. Okay, here we go. Here we go.
People anywhere in the country, whether it's technology, no matter what business you're talking about, there's really nobody quite like him. He's chairman and CEO of Dell Technologies. Make great everything, great computers, great everything. Michael Dell, very much of a legend, who's here with his really exciting announcement. It's so amazing, and much more importantly, he's here with his wonderful wife, Susan, and they have a special relationship. I think I can say that, really. It's very nice. I don't see too much of it. I see the opposite, but I don't see too much. I have two special people. And I've seen that. I've known that for a long time, and I think it's a tremendous thing. Also, the CEO of Altamir Capital, Brad Gerstner. Where are you, Brad? Brad Gerstner is a terrific fellow who's very much involved in this incredible thing that we're doing today, along with the Speaker of the House, Mike Johnson, Treasury Secretary, Scott Besson, Chairman of the Senate Committee on Commerce and Science and Transportation, Ted Cruz, House Ways and Means Committee Chairman Jason Smith, Vice Chairman of the House Republican Conference, Blake Moore, as well as the Chief Design Officer of the United States Airbnb co-founder, Joe Gebbia. I want to thank you all for being here. It's a great group. And I guess a potential Fed chair is here too. I don't know. Are we allowed to say that? Potential. He's a respected person, that I can tell you. Thank you, Kevin. Today is Giving Tuesday. I don't know if anybody's heard that one before, but it is indeed Giving Tuesday, one of the biggest days of the year for philanthropy and charitable giving. And this afternoon, Michael and Susan Dell are committing to one of the largest private donations in American history, which will directly benefit the next generation of American children through the new Trump Accounts program that we created in our One Big Beautiful Bill. And Michael and Susan came to see me along with Brad, and they said, this is an idea. And I said, I think, it sounded just so good and so unique. But that's why he's been so successful, and they've been so successful in life and in business, because they're unique. Trump Accounts will be the first, I guess you could say, real trust funds for every American child, allowing family members, employers, corporations, generous donors to contribute money that will be invested and grow over the course of a child's life to be used for their benefit after they turn 18. So in other words, these are children that are going to, an investment's going to be made. That investment's going to continue to grow. We hope, right? We hope. And, but it will. And they'll feel like Michael Dell someday. But at 18, they'll have a lot of money, a lot more money than they would have had, and potentially a lot of money. But these accounts will track the overall stock market and will be 100% private property controlled by the child's guardians. In honor of America's 250th anniversary, the Dells are announcing today that they are giving 25 million American children $250 each to save and to invest in their personal Trump account. Now, that's the equivalent of $6.25 billion.
Wow.
In other words, to put it succinctly, Michael and Susan are giving $6.25 billion in total, and as a total contribution. That's big stuff. I don't care who you are.
That's huge.
That's big. Come here. Give me.
It's huge. That is
Let me have
absolutely
that
huge.
luck rub off. That's fantastic, Susan. These gifts will be available to the first 25 million children aged 10 and under the zip codes where their median income is $150,000 or less. So they're giving them to children that won't be born particularly rich, and they're going to be hopefully very rich someday. This will give millions of dollars, millions of children, middle-class families a stake in American prosperity, a benefit from the rising stock market, and a better shot at the American dream. It really gives them a shot at the American dream. Michael and Susan, I want to thank you for this extraordinary act of kindness and patriotism and charity. This is truly one of the most generous acts in the history of our country. I mean, you don't hear about things like that. And we got to let people know he doesn't want and she doesn't care about that. But I do. I think when somebody does that, you got to let them know about it. As I mentioned, this gift is being made possible by the largest tax cuts in American history, which our Republican majorities passed earlier this year. And the Speaker worked so hard, and John Thune and Jason and all of them, every one of them. Ted Cruz is with us. He worked so hard getting that done. That was the biggest, most consequential bill they say ever passed. And, you know, if they remember, Michael, they thought we had to put that in 12 to 14 bills. I said, I don't know if we can hold it that long with the Democrats. And we said, let's try doing it once. So we did. And people were surprised, but we got it done. So I congratulate you guys. Amazing job. Under that bill, the federal government will also automatically be making a one-time seed contribution of $1,000 into the tax-deferred Trump accounts for every newborn U.S. citizen, fulfilling a promise I made in the 2024 campaign. Trump accounts should grow to be worth many thousands of dollars by the time the child is 18, and even more by the time they are 20 or even 30 years old. We think it's going to be something really unique and really special. We hope many others will follow Michael and Susan's example and make their own contributions. I'll be doing it too, to the next generation, including businesses, churches, philanthropists, family members, and parents themselves. I think we're going to have a lot of people, Susan. I think a lot of people are going to be contribute. A lot of people are watching us right now. They might not be $6 billion plus, but there'll be a lot. There aren't too many people that are in the 6 billion range, but there'll be a lot. A lot of friends of mine have already told me they're going to contribute a lot of money, and a lot of them are going to leave a lot of money in their wills. So that's very important. And as you watch us today, I hope you'll be doing that. Contributions to Trump accounts will also be a great benefit for employers to offer their workers, which they'll be able to do tax-free. It's tax-free. We expect hundreds of major companies to announce plans to contribute to these accounts in the coming months. And we've had tremendous interest in that regard. So the Trump accounts will be available starting on July 4th next year. And Michael and Susan, to you again, it's an amazing act of just incredible everything. I mean, the life you've led to be able to do this, even to be able to, even a lot of people have a good heart, but they can't give $6.25 billion. And Michael, probably knowing you, it's not the last of it either. It's not the last. But on behalf of the United States of America, I want to thank you both. And I want to thank all three. But I want to thank you both because you've been friends of mine. And it's a spectacular couple. This is really an amazing people. These are unique. And I'd like to have you come up and say a couple of words and tell us what you have in mind, because what you have in mind is good. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. President. It's a great honor to be with you here in the White House. And, you know, when you passed the Invest America Act on July 4th of this year, we were really inspired to see that happen. And this is something that, you know, Brad had first mentioned to us in 2021. We thought it was a great idea then. And it's amazing that it happened. And we also saw that this act would become a platform. And, you know, we believe the smartest investment that we can make is an investment in children. And this act has created a platform for families and friends and communities and companies and philanthropists to contribute to these accounts to create a savings and opportunity and hope and prosperity for tens of millions of children in this country. And Susan and I are super excited to announce our $6.25 billion gift to 25 million American children, 10 and under, and our gift will cover most of the children that are 10 and under that are not part of the federal program, the 0 to 2-year-olds, and who also live in zip codes where the median income is $150,000 or less. And I have spoken with a number of other wealthy Americans, philanthropists, and we are confident that others will join us because we all understand the incredible impact that a gift like this can have on the lives of young Americans. So again, it's a great honor for us to be here to be able to announce this. You know, when I was 8 years old, I got a passbook savings account and I had, I think about $8 in it. And you go to the savings and loan and you give them a quarter and they'd stamp your account. And I got to see the power of compound interest early in my life. And that has brought me here to this moment. And hopefully will inspire that kind of opportunity for many more young people in this country. So again, thank you for the privilege of being here.
Thank you. Thank you, Susan. So beautiful. Thank you very much. Susan, would you like to say something?
I'd just like to say how excited we are to be a part of this. We believe that when children have a future that they can see is worth saving for, then that will help build hope and opportunity and prosperity for generations to come. So we're so excited to be doing this and hope to have many people join in our efforts. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Susan. So beautiful.
Well, first, it's an incredible honor to be here.
All right. Very interesting moment unfolding here at the White House. Welcome, everybody. I'm Martha McCallum, and this is the story. The president has announced these Trump funds, which will be $1,000 to children born in a 3-year period over this term. And it's an incentive to families to save, to put something in that child's account, then to continue to contribute to it so that it grows. And we've seen.
Okay. I want to see if, so I want to break this down really quickly. I think that this is unbelievable. You never saw anything like this from any previous president. Why? This is, you know why this is happening? You know why this enormous of an investment is happening in America is because we finally have somebody who has actually proven their worth, have actually proven their mettle in the free market, in the free enterprise system, and he has actual real relationships with real innovators, real go-getters, men of action, women of action, men and women in the arena. This is why this is happening. And these kids' future, imagine this, you know, before you could even walk and crawl, your government, which its sole duty is to make sure to provide security, safety, investment in the future so that they can grow up and thrive and prosper as the next generation carrying the torch of our forefathers. That's the only job of government, not to interfere, not to overtax, not to help you in every aspect of your life. You know, I saw something really interesting the other day, and I think it's worth sharing where, you know, a guy was saying that, like, you know, you can buy a, you know, brand new air conditioner unit for less than $1,000 or what have you. You know why? Because the government never tried to make air conditioning free and accessible to everybody. You can go purchase a termite inspection, you know, for $250. You know why? because the government never tried to make termite inspection accessible and available to everybody. Essentially, he kept coming up with these examples of how capitalism works, how the free market and free enterprise system works. And to quote Ronald Reagan, the 8 scariest words in the English language are, "Hi, I'm the government and I'm here to help." The reason why this is possible, these kids are going to have a financial, I don't want to say a bedrock or a cushion, but let's just say a little bit of a head start to where we don't have young people today. You know, I worry about my kids. Well, my kids are going to be fine because I work my ass off every single day. But, you know, you have kids today, a generation coming up today, who are racked with debt, who are still living at home in their 30s and even 40s, who do not have any of the skills, the applicable life skills and employability skills, because they came from a tradition and indoctrination camps. Nobody knows this better than I do. That didn't teach them a damn thing about how the real world works. They have no idea how to invest. They don't know what the stocks are. They don't know what bonds are. They don't know what a portfolio is. They don't even know what the language, the nomenclature. They have no idea how to manage the inner turmoil, let alone the external turmoil that every human being faces in life. What are we teaching them? We're teaching them how to be obedient. We're teaching them to hate billionaires, to hate success. We're teaching them ideologies that stem from Marxist, Leninists, communist seedlings and ideologies that completely have no relation or mapping to the real world of the United States of America under a capitalist system, a free market. We're teaching them to be lazy. We're teaching them not to reproduce. We're teaching them not to believe in God. It's awful what's happening in these indoctrination camps. We didn't see trillions and trillions of dollars of investment from major corporations like Apple, Nvidia, Google, Microsoft, Amazon. We didn't see that under any other president. Why are we seeing it under Trump? Because he has built real relationships. Why are we seeing Larry Ellison? Why are we seeing Mark Zuckerberg and Sam Altman, who are at the forefront of AI, investing trillions of dollars into the US, investing their time, their energy? They don't have to. They're all billionaires. They could relax, sit back, have a margarita, a Coke, and a smile, and shut the hell up. But they're not doing that because Trump has built relationships. 0 illegal crossings. 0, not 1, not 5, not 300, not 20, not 25. Settle. Let me say it as clear as possible. 0, 6 months straight. The Biden-Kamala regime was averaging tens of thousands to hundreds of thousands a month. Actually, it was thousands a day of illegal crossing. That alone warrants Mount Rushmore, let alone all of these investments, let alone everything that Secretary Bessent, Hegseth, Marco Rubio, Health and Human Services, Robert F. Kennedy Jr., getting rid of chemicals that poison us, chemicals that are banned in every first world nation across the globe, except for the United States of America. And what does he get? He gets a 94%. He gets 94% negative coverage in the woke mainstream media. And then they throw a hissy fit, the pussies. Pardon my language. It gets me so mad and upset because they're fighting America. You're not fighting Trump. Hey, dummies. Hey, mooks. Hey, hypocrites. Hey, demonic Democrats. You're not fighting President Trump when you attack him. You're attacking the American people. You're attacking me. I voted thrice, not once, not twice, thrice for this man. And I would happily do it all over again. Let me know if you're the same in the comments right now. How many times did you vote for him? And how many times would you do it all again too? And they throw a hissy fit when he shows a little perturbance. He shows a little pushback. 94% negative coverage. The man is literally saving America, literally healing America, and he gets 94% negative coverage and publicity from the woke media apparatus. Shame on you, CBS. Shame on you. And by the way, they've had to pay Trump millions. He's going to sue the BBC for about $1 billion, excuse me. And now the White House is unveiling a $6 billion donation led by Michael Dell and his wife to Trump accounts for young children. This is how you save America. This is how you create prosperity and thriving for all citizens. They attack him at every turn. They've thrown everything in the kitchen sink at him. They tried to debank him, smear him, imprison him, assassinate him. And we still won. That's a story that's as great as the American Revolution, y'all. That's an amazing miracle of God, is what that is. Because God always wins. God is great. God bless. I want you guys to all stay tuned. I want you guys to all subscribe and follow down below. It's completely free. I want to give a huge shout out to the greatest moms of all time, Jim Barron, Laura Tilford, China Baby, Howie, Robbie Reader Squared, Mountain Goddess, and the whole lot of you. I know there's a lot of people I'm forgetting. I love you guys. Chuck Krinda in the house. I want to give a big shout out to Candy Hoarding. I want to give a big shout out to Lily. Welcome all new members as well. And stay tuned because I've got more. I'm going to bring you the best of the best. All the truth. Help us make common sense go viral. All you need to do is just tap that thumbs up. Even if you're watching on your TV, you can do it with your remote. Tap that thumbs up because it helps us out immeasurably. We won the battle on November 5th, 2024, but the war rages on because these hypocrite, demonic, soulless, mook Democrats are never going to stop. So that means we can't stop. I love you guys more than you'll ever know. I love America. And if you love America, say it in the comments down below. By the way, they all watch this show. The White House staff, Caroline Leavitt, Stephen Miller, all the senators, congressmen, they all watch our show. We're going to get Trump on our show. As a matter of fact, quite frankly, it's going to happen very soon, right? Because Professor Nez is a good guy. He's a smart guy. He's a handsome guy too, right? I think he is, by the way. He's a good guy. Me and Melania, we watch him every night. Thank you, Mr. President. I love you. We're going to get Trump on our show. And so stay tuned. Don't go anywhere. Subscribe and follow. It's absolutely free. And the pinned comment is our free newsletter. Sign up for that. And as always, may God bless you and may God bless the USA and all who